So we're learning from a Jewish perspective. Rabbi Nachman brings this back into the Torah here of how to make parnasa. So I'm going to read you inside. This is Lakutei Maran. I'm going to read you inside the idea here, and then we'll be able to go into it together. So Rabbi Nachman says like this. Earlier he spoke about that when a person eats, I want you to connect all the dots. One of the things about learning Rabbi Nachman is you have to connect a lot of pieces of like a big puzzle. So one of the things that he's teaching us here is when you eat in a holy way, you bring down what's called a he'aras haratzon. You bring down consciousness of God's will. Okay. What do you think that statement that I just said has to do with making money? When you eat in a state of consciousness, in a holy way, you bring down high consciousness from above. How is that tied into money? Are any of the words that I used money related? When you eat in a state of holiness, you bring down ha'aras haratzon, you bring down a consciousness of God, specifically at that time of eating. Okay, that's my riddle for you, Moshe.
It's the same way that everything, also with sleeping. If you have kavanah to be stronger to do mitzvahs, do tefillah, so even when you're sleeping, you're also bringing that.
Very good.
So also with work.
When I'm working, when I go on a walk on the beach with my wife and my kids, when I jump skipping rope. So why would it be that specifically when you eat? So there's really two parts. Specifically when you eat, you get this download of God's will. And what does this all have to do with making money?
Money to buy food.
Okay, so you ever heard something? You got bread?
I was going to say that, but
Gilad, this is the place to just share your heart.
I don't know that's a thing in Judaism. I don't know if slang's like that. But yeah, bread's another term for money.
You got dough? You got dough in the bank? Got bread? You got masonis?
Got meat.
You got meat? You can't really, eat your Bitcoin.
Are you finishing up now?
We're learning Torah, my friend. You're welcome to join us. You can't eat Bitcoin.
You cannot eat Bitcoin?
You ever tried to?
No.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
You're going to eat an algorithm up? Can you eat Boolean?
Can you eat what?
Boolean?
What's Boolean?
Boolean means like gold, like the metal itself.
No. Technically, yes.
Saying it wouldn't be so good for you.
Yeah.
You can eat money. Money is potential that you use to buy stuff, namely food. So here we see is that there's a code word here for money, which is food. And we said when you eat in a state of holiness, we're learning Rabbi Nachman, a Breslov. You learned Rabbi Nachman before? This is like, this is what's called Chassidut. You heard of Chassidut before? Chassidut.
Wasn't it like a big day for Chassidut yesterday?
It was a very big day.
Yeah.
You got involved a little bit, brother? You heard about it. You were involved by hearing about it.
Yeah, yes, so.
What's your name?
Ohad.
Ohad, nice to have you here in yeshiva.
Thank you very much. Just came yesterday. But I have a class now with Rabbi Resnick.
I think it's at 3.
Really? It would be at 3? It says 2:15 to 3 p.m. in the conference room. Maybe there's been a change.
Oh, it could be.
Or maybe.
If the Rebbe comes in, then we'll have to speak to him. So, there's a code word here speaking about when you eat in a state of holiness, it brings financial blessing into a person's life. So the riddle that I asked is, what's the connection between that statement and money? So the connection that we made is that money is deeply connected to food, because you use money to buy food. It's a story of a king, and there was a guy in the kingdom, and he was like a very paranoid guy. So he took all of his money and he locked it in safes, within safes, within safes. When the king told him, like, it's a bit like, you got to be careful with this. It's one thing to lock stuff away, but like, say, don't worry, I got away, a system to get in, like. And what happened to the guy is that one day that he was taking his money deeper and deeper into his safes. And the first safe had certain things, then deeper and deeper in had more valuable things. And the most inner safe, he had his most valuable, precious jewels. And he went all the way in to his inner safe. And the door to the safe was open. And he was putting a few things in, and then he got a bit lost in the sauce of looking at his jewels and things. And he got a little bit too enamored that he didn't realize that the door had closed on him. And he didn't have a key because he was only coming in just to put a few things in. And he was yelling from the safe and nobody could hear him. And this story goes that this person did not make it because he couldn't eat anything. And the family was looking for him, they didn't see him, like dinner, this. And they didn't think he'd just be in his own, they thought they were going outside looking for him. Because he can't eat the money. You'd be the richest guy in the world, but no money, you can't eat it. So money is really that which we use to buy food. And we can eat from the food. The richest guy who's got no food is not very rich. We see a story in the times of the Beis HaMikdash. That's right. That Martha, it says that Martha was the richest woman in Yerushalayim. And she sent her servant. She said, go and get me. She was like an istinus, which means she was like very bugged out by different gross type things. So it was a time that there was a lot of destruction happening around. And she didn't realize from her ivory tower that things were getting looted and all sorts of stuff. And she sent out, she said, please go to the marketplace and bring me some fine flour. I need to make some bread. So the servant went to the marketplace and said, oh, all the fine flour is sold out. But they have coarser flour. So she's like, fine, get me the coarser, just whatever. And then the servant went to the marketplace and he came back and he said, oh, all the coarse flour is sold out. But they have real bread. She's like, get whatever they had, just bring me the bran. And he goes back, oh, by the way, the bran was sold out, but she's like, bring it. And this very coarse types, just bring it. And it's all sold out. And she was on the streets and she was just throwing money anywhere. She was like, can I just buy anything? I just need to buy some food. Give me just something. And nobody wanted her gold and her silver and her jewelry because you could have money, but money is really to get to bread. You got to get to bread. So Martha understood that it's all about getting the bread. That the bread is really what we want. To have bread. So here we see already a code forming here that the Rebbe is speaking about. When you learn Likutei Moharan, it's about understanding that these words are written in code. And you start piecing together the storyline. So here the code begins, is that when you're eating in a holy way, which means you're tapping in to something about eating properly, you receive a blessing that comes in. Now says the Rebbe, somebody who wants to gird his loins, somebody wants to become a mefarnes. What does the word mefarnes mean? How do you know that, Ohad? He wants to be a mefarnes. He wants to be a provider for other people. That's right, to warm other people.
Is that where that comes from?
No, definitely not.
Could actually. Is that the same, is that where
There's a lot of words like that.
Mafar, yeah.
From English.
Parnasa. Parnasa is from Parnasa.
So Parnasa means like a warmer?
No.
That's the way that Ellie's translating it now.
Furnace comes from Parnasa.
But the
It gives off.
Mefarnes,
Have a look.
the Mefarnes is someone who's a provider.
Is this all Rabbi Nachman?
It's all Rabbi Nachman. So somebody,
What did he write?
Lakute Maran.
Pardon?
He wrote Lakute Moharan, which is really the collection of his Torahs that he said throughout his life.
And those are the people who like right now.
So, there's different groups of people in the world. I don't know if Rabbi Nachman would be writing that. And he didn't really deliberately say that anywhere. But people have taken certain things and kind of run with them, not necessarily in a balanced way.
Yeah.
So,
what I know about like Breslev is that they go to Uman every year, and they party and have a good time.
so
And the rule is like to always be happy. Isn't that?
that's a pretty, I would call that a Jewish rule. I would call that something that King David told us to do. Ivdu es Hashem b'simcha, to serve Hashem with simcha. And therefore, that's not a Breslov thing per se.
Serving Hashem in simcha doesn't mean always being happy generally, because that's serving Hashem in a happy
When are we
way.
not serving Hashem, Oad?
No. No. Let me explain. You can. There's a difference when you do something out of happiness. Let's say, I need to do chores. If I do chores out of happiness, it's a different thing. But does it mean I'm actually happy? I don't think we need to always be happy, because you need balance in life. Not just
Even Rabbi Nachman says that you should have a time of the day that you go to a place of what's called lev nishbar, a broken heart. But he says you can't walk around like that. You can't walk around a broken-hearted person. You have to have a period of the day that you dedicate to feeling pain. And if you could do that in a responsible way, then you'll boomerang back with more happiness.
Absolutely, because happiness is relative. It's all relative. Your happiness is, like, you might say, I'm always happy because I have everything. But that would just mean that your normal happiness is an acceleration of your normal feelings. So if your normal feelings are always happy, then there's a big, you can call it happiness, I guess. You can define happiness. It's quite complicated.
Hezu Ashir, we say, who is the wealthy man? Hasamech bechelko. Happiness means a state of connection. State of connection.
So you're always connected. So you're always happy.
So then why do people get sad? They don't feel so connected. They feel lonely.
I can feel sad and still be connected.
That's why you have a period of the day that is, I wouldn't call it sad.
No, but I can feel angry and still be connected. I can feel
Connected to what?
to Hashem.
Most angry people, it says when a person gets angry, his soul leaves him.
Okay, so anger is a bad example.
Do you mean like thinking? Is that like what you like? Is that what you mean? Like deep in thought? Like
Yeah, as well. It can be deep in thoughts.
Right, that's not necessarily angry if you're deep in thought.
Okay, not angry. And I take back angry. Let's say something, another emotion.
So let's speak it out. This is a.
No, I get what
This is free speech here.
I think I know what he means. He's like to take time out of your day to like ponder, right? Just to let your brain, let your mind wander.
I can be I can be connected to Hashem and feel other emotions.
Like what? Like what?
You have sadness. You have.
So sadness, we said you should have a period of the day where you're not. Sad is an interesting word. You mean depressed?
No.
So we would call that lev nishbar, broken-hearted.
You also have Tisha B'Av.
Broken-hearted.
Name emotions.
I want to hear from you.
Guys, say some emotions. What can you feel?
I think
You have tons of emotions.
I think you can be happy with Hashem just all the time if you know that everything He's sending is for you good.
No, I understand.
That way you
that
can
concept.
always be happy.
I understand.
First you need to.
But what name emotions generally speaking? Like what sort of emotions are there?
Anxiety.
You have anger, you have sadness, you have
Guilt.
fear, you have.
Guilt.
So what kind of fear is this? Is this a healthy fear? Is this a fear which is more of an awe of, it's Shabbat. I don't want to go on my phone because I'm in awe that there's consequence to this.
Exactly, yes, exactly. That's
So I could be at the same time happy, right?
Uh-huh.
That I know that I'm close to Hashem and I'm not ruining the relationship
So what
by
do you say?
not going on my phone on
My
Shabbat.
definition of happiness would be when a lot of dopamine is released in the brain at that one instance. Your brain is not always, pleasure.
So we see happiness is much deeper than just dopamine release. Because when a guy's on heroin, he's got a lot of dopamine, but he's not a happy guy.
I understand. Yeah.
He's a very
I
disconnected
think you
person.
have to begin there's certain levels of happiness, not just one. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Happiness is something that we're growing with our entire life. Is that we want to grow as
when
happier
Rabbi
people.
says, to be happy, does he mean be connected with Hashem?
Yes,
Okay.
be connected. But in a state, in a feeling state of happiness. That there's a joy. There's a we actually have 10 words for happiness in Hebrew. Gila, Rina, Ditza, Vechelva, Ava, Ve'ava, Ve'shalom, Ve'gleyu. That's an amazing thing, is that we're a people that has 10 different expressions of happiness. There's a happiness of when you just receive something. There's a happiness of an excitement to receive something. There's many different levels. There's like jubilation type.
Happiness when you give something.
That's right. There's many different types of happiness. And we want to be growing in these happiness, and we actually bless a bride and groom.
10 would Rabbi Nachman be speaking about?
He says you should grow in all of them your entire life. Your whole life, you should be growing in those states.
You cannot, possibly.
Why not?
You cannot be constantly giving. You know what I mean? You cannot always be that feeling of giving. And if you gave 24/7, if you were giving 24/7, it would not feel as
That's
special.
what these bars.
And then you have a period of the day which is called Lev Nishba, which means a brokenhearted.
But why do you need to be broken-hearted to be not
Brokenhearted means is that the world is not yet perfect. There's challenges in the world. A person goes through challenging things in their life. But let's give an example. A guy's at work, and he's feeling a bit down and depressed. So he's typing away, doing whatever he's doing. And then he has a moment of, feeling a bit anxious, feeling a bit lonely. And he lets down his guard, because when a person's sad, they can do things that otherwise are not good for them to do. Because there's a pretty secretary there. And instead of, managing himself properly, he loses himself. So you might think, well, but I'm having this feeling. Should I not honor this feeling? So Rabbi Nachman says, you should, but not right then and there. You should have a designated time during the day that you could feel feelings of challenge. You could feel feelings of sadness. Just because something happens, do you need to deal with it right now? Somebody cut you off. You're driving your car, somebody cuts you off. You think the best way to deal with this is road rage? Probably not. In fact, for sure not. That's going to be dangerous, like really dangerous.
It's a lot more fun.
Yeah, but we're into life and not death. And therefore, but you felt something and you were upset with something. We want to teach the world that you could have a feeling and you could say, Shem, I'm going to come back to this later. Not that you're bottling it up and never dealing with it, but you're saying, I want to experience this, but not right now. It's not the time. It's not going to come out in a healthy way. So Rabbi Nachman put focus on people working on their happiness. That is true. That's definitely true. But I would say that Breslov is much more than just jumping on top of cars and playing music.
Can we still do that?
Yeah, but if you're stopping up traffic and people are getting upset, then I would keep things moving. Your happiness shouldn't. Yeah, your happiness shouldn't be getting in the way of other people and their. Even though it's very nice, you see some chevra jumping on the truck and they're playing music. It's very sweet. But once the light turns green, keep it moving. So Rabbi Nachman Ohad did spend time focusing on helping people be happy. But he focused on more than that. He wants to focus on people being balanced and feeling all the appropriate emotions and knowing how to manage them in their life. There's actually a Torah that we learned in Likutei Moharan called Chaf Gimel and Chaf Dalet 23 and 24, which is all about happiness. And really it's a whole technology. Remember, maybe send Ohad that video. The circle one that you made. It's like the 10-minute video. Send it to Ohad. The whole Torah summed up in 10 minutes.
The AI video.
We basically took our classes, and then Ellie made a little video about the entire, it was 4 months of learning, and they summed the whole thing up in about 10 minutes. And this is all based on Rabbi Nachman's teachings of the role of happiness, the role of where sadness is, and really the analogy that he uses of a circle of people dancing together. So the analogy that he says is that when a circle starts forming and people are dancing, and there's a guy outside the circle, what does the guy outside the circle think, Gilad? He sees this guy dancing. What is he thinking? That guy outside the circle, you know that guy? You know that guy? He doesn't want to come into the circle dance? What is he thinking at that moment? Well, the first thing I'm thinking is, why is he not in the circle? He's the guy who's coming. He's shy. Maybe he's not worthy of coming in. What are these guys all excited about? What are the guys inside the circle thinking about that guy? We should bring him in. And usually that's what happens. As they pull the guy and say, no, I don't want him. And then he comes in. So when he comes into the circle, sometimes the guy's like, okay, yeah, okay, fine. And you can tell he doesn't want to be there. But then something happens where while he's in the circle, he somehow kind of gets into it. So Rabbi Nachman uses this as an analogy of everything that's happening inside of you and I, which means there's a circle dance inside of me, which means there's a part of me that's creating a circle, like a vortex of energy inside of me. There's a part of me that wants to stay outside the circle, and I don't want to get involved. I'd rather just be depressed and watch Netflix this morning, Rabbi, thank you, and not come to shir. There's a part of me that's like, no, let's go. That wants to pull the lower part of me into the circle. Then there's a part of me that even when I'm in the circle, I'm like, okay, I'm in shir, but like I would rather be watching the game right now. But then there's a part of me when you get in it and you're in the vortex, you become elevated while you're in it. So this Torah is like a very powerful analogy of something happening inside of us as we're moving through this circle dance. So yes, Ohad, the Rebbe speaks a lot about happiness and has a whole technology of us becoming happier people. In this Torah, he starts going into wealth, going into having healthy financial abundance. So somebody who wants to be a provider, and he wants to provide wealth for those people that depend upon him. So what does he have to do? What's the first step that he has to do? The first step that he has to do is ish chayil. If you want to be a provider for other people, you have to start identifying as this new character that Rabbi Nachman speaks about called an ish chayil. Your Hebrew's good. What's an ish chayil?
Don't you have like a man of like greatness in a way? You know?
A soldier, a fighter, a mighty person, an ish chayal, somebody who's mighty. What would be the opposite of such a guy? A shlemazel. A shlemazel means the opposite of an ish chayal.
Is that really the opposite?
Yeah.
Is that really what it says?
V'lo yeh ha'hepech, and not the opposite of this mighty person. Shekur and roya mazel, shlemazel. Shlemazel is the opposite.
I was just saying that because of yesterday. I didn't know like it was actually.
This is mamish it. There's on the side, and it looks like the shlemazel is a guy who's the opposite of being a giver and a provider financially. There's the ish chayil, who's a mighty provider, and blessing will come through him. And then there's the shlemazel.
It's hard to give if like you blame the world for your
That's right.
Maybe for your problems.
Exactly. The shlemazel is always everyone else is the problem. Did you guys ever read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad? We were speaking about it this morning.
I've heard of it.
Send that to the boy. You heard of it? Send it to Oad.
There's an even better version.
There's a better version of that book.
It just came out.
It just came out. It's called Ish Chayil and Shlemazel. This is the new book.
This is the new book, everyone.
Okay?
Let it download. Come
Did you write it?
Why awkwardly not?
We're writing it right now. Show Moshe.
I saw it on the group chat.
There's the.
Yeah, it's really good.
I really want to have a sit down with.
Actually, you did it.
We're writing it right now. Bemet.
Anybody
Really?
see this one? This version of it?
So that's the cover of the book.
Oh wow.
And maybe we'll show it to the Chevra.
Very
Okay?
nice.
Did you guys hear? Let's see. Well, so last time if they know Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Non-plagiarism, it's fine. Actually, probably shouldn't say that.
So on Amazon, it's Rich Dad Poor Dad.
No, it's the Israel Shema.
So Rich Dad, Poor Dad is probably the greatest book on financial responsibility that was ever written. It's like an all-time bestseller.
Oh, you just put your face.
And then,
No,
but
that's what Shema.
no,
No.
no, this is a new book that we're writing. It's a new book. Okay, it's called Ish Chayil and Shlamazel.
What's Shema?
Shlamazel is,
Because this is what it looks like.
and that name. This is the book. This is the book. Okay, everybody knows this book. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is the book.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that book.
You've never seen that?
But this book essentially is that it's what Reb Nachman's speaking about. Is that who is the rich dad in the book? He's a mover. He's a doer. He makes opportunity for other people. He's always hustling to create opportunity. It's really not a book on finance. It's a book on psychology. It's a book on really identity of who I am. And who is the poor dad? He's the shlamazel. The poor dad is always the one that's like, oh, government stimulus checks. Oh, everything's coming to me. He's the one that's always making all sorts of negative, the world's out to get me. So, b'siyat d'shmai, my friends, we're going to be continuing this topic for our dear Chevra and going really into these Jewish money secrets, which is really about rich dad, poor dad. It's really about either being an ish chayil, a mighty person, which is a whole psychology, or a shlamazel. And understanding who the shlamazel is, and not identifying as the shlamazel, because we want the world to have abundance consciousness. Okay, so Rabbi, so what did we say today? We spoke at length actually about Simcha and Breslov in general, and Rabbi Nachman's approach to helping people to be balanced, happy people. In this Torah, the Rebbe is speaking about, and we introduced the idea of food being connected to money, and then we went into the topic of somebody who wants to be a provider financially. They really have to take on a certain identity. We're going to see that that identity will bring down blessing into their life, and that is the idea of an ish chayil, means to be a mighty person, and we'll learn about what that means, as opposed to the opposite of shlamazel. Shlamazel is somebody who is in a victim state, and we want to get people out of that type of thinking. Okay, Rabbi said we should continue to learn and grow. We'll be together in 20 minutes at 3 o'clock. B'siyata d'shmaya, may Hashem give us